Janu. Alright, and welcome back to Phins Football Podcast. I am B Trill, and go ahead and give me some likes. And if this is your first time, go ahead and subscribe for life. So I want to make sure you are getting the latest, and I mean the latest updates, breaking news, stats, predictions, anything that is happening Dolphin news. I want to make sure I get it to you as fast as I can. So it is Victory Monday. How about that? We got the thrilling overtime win against the New York Jets. How about Jonnu Smith, huh? Quiet all game and comes through in the clutch. That is what we need. Go ahead and smash a comment in there about what your thoughts of the free agent pickup, Jonnu Smith. And we'll go ahead and talk about that next episode. And we'll go over some of the comments that you shared. So I got a lot to break down. I'm going to go over, unfortunately, some injury updates. But we're going to recap this game and then we'll look ahead. So we got the overtime thriller to get that win. Now the rest of the games actually mean something. So we're getting closer to possibly a playoff spot. Of course, with that, Miami does have to win out. So we're already starting that off with a win against the Jets. How many of you actually thought that we're going to pull it off the entire game? How many of you had the confidence? No, I didn't. I want to say with like 4 minutes to go, I was scared. We punted the ball. The game was tied. It was going in the hands of Aaron Rodgers. Our missed tackles, us leaving wide receivers open. The biggest plus side of our defense last game on Sunday, yesterday, was our pass rush. Our secondary really was not holding anything down. We'll recap everything, go into it in a little bit, but let's go ahead and start off on a positive note. So 32-26 in overtime is what the final score was. Miami came through, Tua came through, and we got the W. I'm going to go ahead and talk about what it means in the standings, what it means in playoffs, who we have left, who we're hosting, or should I say, who are we playing next week. But yeah, we're going to talk about it all. I'm going to go over the stats and everything, but first, Armstead. So Armstead only played a very, very few snaps on Sunday. So it is his knee, as it has been, which is why he has not been practicing pretty much majority of the season and just been filling in the game. He started to play and then just didn't feel 100%, and Mike McDaniel just took him out. He said basically you need rest, and we would rather do that than risk more injuries. So we're going to rest. We're going to see what is entail, how long he's going to be out. But Patrick Paul came in. So again, Patrick Paul is our first round pick out of Houston. Ironically, we play Houston on Sunday. But he was playing pretty well. He only allowed 2 pressures on 49 blocking snaps. So blocking snaps as in pass rush scenarios where he is actually blocking. He only allowed 2 pressures and 0 sacks. So 0 sacks is great. 2 pressures is especially since Tua does get the ball out pretty often, but sometimes he does hold on to the ball. So I'm looking excited for the future of Patrick Paul. But with some other injury news. Unfortunately, it looks like D. Eskridge, he is also nursing a knee injury. He might be out also. So let's jump into this game. So I started going over some of my game notes, and first thing that popped out at the very beginning of the game, I think it was the first drive of the game, Liam Eichenberg, this is like your fourth or fifth game in a row where you're getting into a fight, where there's a flag called for unnecessary roughness on or a personal foul on either side, but it seems like Eichenberg is instigating to get them to do something, because you saw it was just hands in the face. He was almost swinging on him. Before that, there was a couple other things with, what was it, the Rams and the I think it was the Colts. I don't know. There was a lot of games in a row that Liam Eichenberg is just getting in the middle of. I would love to hear what he is doing. I wish he would be mic'd up, uncensored, and we could hear what's going on. But of course, that won't happen. But even as he was on the ground, he was kind of like a turtle trying to get up, kicking his feet. But we'll stay tuned on that, see what's going on with that. But Miami played great. We should have beat the Jets by a lot more. But our first drive, we were moving. Towards the end of the half, we were moving. The end of regulation, we were moving the ball. And overtime, we were moving the ball. Besides that, we were But when it mattered, Tua got the ball moving, got the ball into his playmakers, and they were able to make yards after the catch. They were able to break tackles. They were able to use their speed, and Tua found them. Of course, it wasn't every drive, it wasn't every play, because we did score 32 points, but we had a few punts. I think his first punt actually came in the second half, I want to say. We didn't have a lot of field goals early on, but at least we were moving the ball. Man, that pass interference really saved our first drive. If you realize, we moved the ball down there. The second drive. No, it was the first drive. We moved the ball down there, and then it came to 3rd and goal, passed it to Tyreek, pass interference, another play of downs. But then it took all the way, I think, another penalty reset, and then I think it was like 6 or 7 tries inside the goal line. If we didn't have the penalties that happened, that reset it, we would end up kicking a field goal. So Miami needs to do better in the red zone. That's one thing that we need to sharpen up, and we missed the point after. So Jason Sanders, you need to miss these point after and just give us the easy ones. I know it's not as easy as it was before, but it's makeable. I do want to say the defense, they did the bend, don't break. So they, again, our pass rush saved us a few times. On 3rd down with getting sacks, and 2nd down getting sacks, causing long 3rd downs. I did realize Jalen Wright, he did have a lot more snaps this game, which was great. So he didn't do too much. I think he only had 2 runs, but he did have some catches. We'll go over stats in a little bit, but I saw he was on the field a lot more. So I do like that. We need to integrate him a lot more, especially since Jeff Wilson isn't playing. I don't think Moser got the ball. Oh, no, Moser was out with his hip injury, so of course we had him in. Ramsey was getting burned by Wilson. Garrett Wilson, there was like 3 or 4 plays where he was just wide open. Wide open. Sometimes Aaron Rodgers missed him, I think at least twice. That one down the right sideline, he was wide open. If he didn't step out of bounds, that was a touchdown. Like, Wilson was just wide open majority of the game. Our secondary needs to do a lot better. Again, our pass rush has been saving us lately. Chop Robinson, Sealer, Campbell, Agba, they all been doing phenomenal. So our defensive line needs to keep it up. Some other notes. That Isaiah Davis touchdown, we had 3 missed tackles? We need to do better with these missed tackles. We're arm tackling. We're not squaring up, bending at the knees, and driving. That's how you make a tackle. They're just, like, it's terrible. They need to do better on defense. But again, those drives, when they mattered. Again, it was the first drive we moved the ball. It was the drive before half. We went down and got 3 points before half. That ended up being huge because we ended up being up, what was it, 15-13, 15-12, something like that. We're up by 2 or 3 at halftime, which, hey, it's a possession. So keeping a lead, having a lead, majority of the game puts pressure on the other team. Um, but let's talk about the end of regulation. We needed to go down there. Wish we would have scored a touchdown in regulation, but that third down pass, Tyreek Hill was bumped a little bit more than I thought, but he did come out the drive and just should have caught that. If he dove, maybe he could have caught it. But again, we got the field goal. We made it a tie game, and we forced overtime. So that was great. We need to see more out of that. It was good to see it in clutch moments because that's who we need Tua to be. A clutch game winner. He hasn't done it too much in his career, but he has done it. So take a look. Remember the Arizona game a few years ago? Of course, the Ravens game a couple years ago. It's just, it needs to be back as consistent. But man, those drives. How about Malik Washington? That kickoff return. If we didn't have that at the end of regulation, there's no way we would have got a field goal range. No way. Maybe. I mean, we do have speed, but again, Malik Washington. He put us at almost the 50. Where we only needed 15 yards to get in field goal range. So, Malik Washington, you definitely saved our game. But again, who did I start off by saying? Who is the thumbnail of? That is Jonnu Smith. 0 catches in regulation. 3 catches, 44 yards, and a touchdown in overtime to win the game. Those 2 screenplays, they were phenomenal. We need to have that at least twice a game. It was great game plan, play call at the right time. But what I want to do is I want to dive into some stats. Let's talk about Tua. Tua is just playing at a Pro Bowl level right now. I wish we had him all season. We would be looking like a playoff team. But again, this is what since he's been back, he's been almost over 300 yards every game. He's averaging over 300 yards since he came back. Averaging over 70% since he came back. Averaging over 100 quarterback rating since he came back. I think Tua's ready. We just need to have the rest of the team not make mistakes and shoot ourselves in the foot. And the defense plays strong, and we can put up 30 points a game. We need to get the rhythm going. So I'm going to go over some stats. Let's see here. If I had everything queued up, I did. Okay. So Tua. Let's see here. Tua was 33 for 47, 331 yards passing. 2 touchdowns. Again, wish he had more. But that is a passer rating of 104.1. So great game by Tua. Our running game was trash. So I don't know what happened. Like, ever since Tua came back, we just can't run the ball. But when he was gone, we did phenomenal running the ball. I don't know what the big difference is. I mean, I know Austin Jackson's gone. Maybe that can't be it, right? I don't know, but maybe it's the teams we're playing. But again, Achane, 14 rushes, 24 yards, 1.7 yards. He did have a touchdown. Again, 7 yards was his long. So Jalen Wright, he had 2 carries, 7 yards. So 3.5 average. Tyreek Hill, 1 for 6. Jeff Wilson sighting, 1 for 4. Tua, 1 for 3. So, rushing just wasn't there. But guess what? We won the game! So that's what really matters. Tyreek Hill, 14 targets, 10 catches, 115 yards, 11.5 average, 1 touchdown, 21 long. Welcome back, Tyreek Hill. I think that is your first game over 100 yards all season. Welcome back. Jalen Waddle, so close. 12 targets, 9 catches, 99 yards, 11 average, 20 was his long, almost his second 100-yard game. We already know he had that 144 a couple weeks ago. Excuse me. 100 yards. I'm sorry, 99 yards this week. Achane, 7 targets, 6 catches, 45 yards. So again, he couldn't really run the ball. He got like 24 yards rushing. He did great in the passing game. 7.5 average. Jonnu Smith, 4 targets, 3 catches, 44 yards, touchdown, game winner, mic drop. Julian Hill, 1 target, 1 catch, 14 yards. Jeff Wilson, 1 catch, 7 yards. Jalen Wright, 2 catches, 6 yards. Odell Beckham, 1 for 1. Malik Washington and Durham Smythe were both targeted with no catches. So, our defense, okay, Malik Washington, 3 returns, 95 yards, 31.7 average. That won us the game. That was phenomenal. Doesn't even say what his long was. On defense, Jordan Brooks, he played lights out. He had a sack. He also, we had Benito Jones had 2 tackles for loss. Sealer had 2 sacks. So, again, it was our defensive line that just kind of kept us in the game. Just played really, really, really well. Chop is just playing phenomenal. Early on, he had that holding call that should have been a sack. And I just think Sealer's playing good. Agba, he's showing some flashes. I think he got a sack, but then it was a penalty or something, but got called back. But, man, what a game. What a win. So what's next, you ask? Well, we have Houston. Houston ranks second in sacks with 42 sacks in a game. Again, we might have Patrick Paul starting at left tackle. Who knows? We might have Isaiah Wynn back, though. Brewer's playing phenomenal. Eichenberg, he's playing great. Kendall Lamb, he played decent. Who knows? We need the help in order to stop Houston and get a win. Again, they're getting healthier. They got Nico Collins back. They got C.J. Stroud back. I'm pretty sure they just had a bye week. So with that, they've rested up and they're game planning against us. We need to beat them. Let me go through really quickly. Standings again. Miami is the 9th seed. Ahead of them, Indianapolis Colts 6-7. Broncos 8-5. Chargers 8-5. Ravens 8-5. Houston Texans 8-5. So everyone's 8-5. We need them to be 8-6 by the end of the week. We need to be 7-7. So we need to be a game back by the end of the week with someone, with one of them. So again, we are facing the Texans. I'm pretty sure. Let me just pull it up. As I thought, where is it? If I go to the next week, Broncos and Colts are playing each other. So with that, it's bittersweet because we need the Colts to lose. Not this week. We need the Colts to beat the Broncos. If they beat the Broncos, then the Broncos are 8-6. Colts are 8-7. How would that work? I thought they already had a bye. I guess they still need a bye. But they played tonight, right? No, I don't know. But with everything, we need to win out. We need some help. We need to make the playoffs. If not, we might as well start losing and get some draft picks, right? Nah, I'm just joking. I like to watch football. I like to root for my team when it matters. So hopefully we can win out and make the playoffs. But that is my recap against the New York Jets. Again, it is Victory Monday. Go ahead, soak it up. We play Houston next week. Let's get that W. Keep liking. Keep subscribing. Share it. let me know that, let everyone know that I'm out there. Go ahead and comment down below. And as always, tune in next time and fins up. Fins.